So we'll just continue on with his hair here. And some of you guys might be thinking, well, how do you come up with basic shapes out of this? Like it's such a strange shape. Just about everything can be made into those basic shapes. So all of these curves here at the top, you could kind of put all this, you could look at this a couple of different ways. You could think of it as like part of a sphere. This is not exactly perfect, but this part of it is very similar to a sphere. Again, we want to, if it's not an obvious shape, think about those grid lines. So I'm thinking about a big old, bushy beard on this guy. So these grid lines are going to sort of do something like this. If we were to look at this as like a wireframe, model. So that's sort of like a big kind of weirdly shaped cylinder there. The important thing is it's curved. Okay, so we know that if it's curved, then we're going to use the softer edge on it. And where it's harder, we can use harder edges. But the same thing continues here. If you think about these shapes, that's kind of a round shape. It's just inverted, So when I'm thinking about where the light's going to go, I'm going to, and you can make some little, hair shapes in here if you want. Make it a little jagged. I'm not going to get under the nose because that's going to be blocking that. But overall, I'm going for the top. That's the key here. We're lighting from the top, so I want my light to be from the top. Now, you don't necessarily have to use the same color either. We could switch this a little bit warmer, a little bit more red. There we go. I like that better. Same thing down here. We get all these little shapes in here. I'm being kind of rough with this. That's fine. We got a little overhang there from his mustache, so I'm not coloring the very top. And then there you go. Now, the trick with hair is not to color it like you're coloring all these individual strands. Throw in a couple of them. You don't have to do a ton of them. So I can just kind of trace in some shapes in here where that hair might go. And you can overlap these if you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe it's kind of, but I'm kind of following the shapes of what his hair would be. See how cool that looks? Looks like hair. I didn't go in and paint a million hairs. I just put in some jagged stuff, and there you go. So again, if this shape is kind of following like this, then I'm going to get sort of a shape kind of like this in here somehow, maybe. And then I can put in a few other little messy areas in here. But now it kind of feels like there's a curve there that's catching that light. And we would do this, all over the place. We do this up here, we do it on the beard down here. So like just briefly. Now I'm going to leave the bottom side of it undone because it's facing down. And then again, I've kind of got a little strip. Max even kind of drew it in here. So this strip of hair kind of does this number. And then you could throw in a few more. Now, this takes practice. If this is your first time ever trying this, then it's not going to be this fast and it's not going to look that good. Just to be honest with you. I've been doing this a long time, so don't worry if your hair doesn't look quite like mine. But if you can get comfortable doing faces and hair and thinking about basic shapes, then you can color anything. So let's try this at a different angle. So I'm just going to rename this one to top light so we can turn it back on later if we want. And make another copy of my flats. And we'll call this one right side. And we'll get a different color this time, maybe blue. All right, so top light is very easy because it's what we see most of the time. Most of the time our light's coming from the top. What if it's from the right side? Okay, so you're still going to think about those basic shapes, but we're just changing the angle the light's coming in at. If the light's coming from our right side, then let's start by grabbing most of his head, but I'm going to cut into some of these areas that are on the left side. Okay, so like this part of his here. And some of this you just kind of have to finagle like that. But I'm leaving some of these spaces in here because on the left side of the image, it's not going to get lit like that. So I could go in and we could select as much of this as we want. And then just switch to my soft brush, paint it in there. And again, hair is kind of shiny, so if you want to add a few little specular effects along the edge here. Now he's lit from the right. And again, it kind of depends on whether the light's behind him or in front. I'm kind of doing it it's directly to his right. So, all of this little area is going to be lit. His ear. This side of his nose. Maybe this part of his face. This could even come out far enough to catch a little bit, maybe. So there you go. Moving on, again, we got the top of this beard here, or the mustache. And again, I'm doing this kind of rough, so you guys get the idea. But I would go in and just practice, practice moving the light around. Maybe you do one from the bottom, which is basically the opposite of what we did on the top light. So if I duplicate this again, and we'll call this one bottom, then I'm just thinking of the opposite that I did the first time. So I'm thinking about the underside of his eyebrows. Now his forehead's facing up. All right, so the lights, if it's coming from the bottom, and there's really no reason for light to come from the bottom here, but I'm just using this as an exercise, then his forehead angle at this angle is facing up. So we're not going to select any of that. But this part of his nose, the underside of his nose, this little area here kind of faces, well, that one's facing up. This one kind of faces down, I think. And this faces down. And even this little area through here faces down. The underside of his mustache, and again, I'm doing this quickly just to kind of show you guys. So it's looking very, very dramatic here. Maybe just the front part of his hair, because this stuff kind of faces down. So you're just thinking about which directions the planes face and where that light source is. There's no just generic light. You have to come up with something. Now the other thing to keep in mind, I'll just kind of throw in here, is that if you're going to have a really strong light source, like if this was nighttime, and I've talked about this in other courses and other lessons, then I might want to kind of wash the image in a different color. So like if this was nighttime, I might make a new layer and fill it with, say, a blue color and just set it to color mode. And then you can adjust the opacity of this effect. So it kind of looks like it's nighttime now, because we're using that blue color. It's in color mode, and then I'm just playing around with the opacity of it. So you can go really strong effect, have it very high, or you could turn it down and be very low. And that blue light looks a little bit better that way. Now the other thing that I want to bring up in this exercise that I want you guys to work on is the surface texture. We talked about surface texture. So there's some things that are going to be more reflective than others. So for example, if I'm coloring this guy's axe, then, and I'm going back to my top light example here, where it had this kind of orangey color light, then things like, leather and what I would imagine all of this stuff is made of is not going to be really, really reflective, okay, because it's leather. So I'm just going to very lightly, use that in some of those areas because it's not as reflective as skin is. All right, so I'm not, the more reflective that something is and the shinier it is or the smoother that it is, then the more I'm going to get those hotter and hotter highlights like you see on his skin. Now, on some things like his axe here, I'm just going to roughly select this, and then I might decide to go really, really hot in some of these areas because if this axe is, really sharp, then, it's going to have those little bright areas like that. I don't know if that area would actually go right there, but I can do something like that. Same thing here, all of these little areas, not particularly reflective. I'm just kind of doing this very quickly. But for something like a skull, I'm going to darken this skull just a little bit, give us more dynamic range here. So again, I've got this this wolf hanging over the top of it, so it's gonna the top's not gonna catch any light, but all of this little area is. So I'm just thinking about all the tops of all of these areas. And I can select others. Go really, really bright because a skull's more smooth and more reflective. So you can see the difference in how the skull looks like it's made of something different than what this leather's made of. Same thing on his feet. I wouldn't expect a highly reflective boot or anything. So I'm not going to do those, those specular highlights on that. But maybe his bow is, maybe his bow is made of elven gold or something, and it's super reflective. You guys can kind of make that decision if you want. So for those of you that would prefer something a little more, painterly, I'll do a couple of runs through that in the next lesson.